putting myself out there as opposed to just me, then I think that's a good life. That's a good life. And if in the end I didn't accomplish anything for myself, that's cool too, because you know what, I don't need that external validation to feel good with myself. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. Today's video is going to be 5 reasons why I no longer look for my life's purpose. So without further ado, let's just get to the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo! Oh, before we get started, a little bit of housekeeping. If you wish to help out my channel, consider checking out my Patreon. And if not, then just help me out with the algorithm by giving this video a thumbs up and a like. Okay, let's get into the list. Number 1, my goals ended at me. It wasn't a big enough reason. So the reason that I wanted to make this video is because I kind of started to realize that until recently, I kind of realized how selfish I had been in my life, and that level of selfishness was making me really unhappy. So I've been doing a lot of self-reflection, and among one of the things or notions that I have decluttered recently is this idea that I don't want to have a life's purpose. So hear me out. I watched this video by Brenny Lee, and she talked about how that, like, if your reason it ends at you, it's not a big enough reason, and I think it's completely true. And I think that the best way I can explain this is that, like, my YouTube channel, for example, my YouTube channel, when I primarily made it for myself, my channel went nowhere, because at the end of it, making it self-indulgent about me was not helping out anybody. Like, why would you want to come watch what I eat in a day, my vlog, like what I do and blah blah blah, because that didn't help anybody else out. So in turn, it didn't really help me. So when I used to focus on my own goals and what I wanted to accomplish for myself, at the core of it, I was just focused on me. And although that may be a good driver for internalizing reasons why you do things, doing it for yourself and self-care and all that, I think all of that's great. But at the core of it, it had kind of entered the realm of selfish. I know that it's a very weird concept to come across because most people are looking for their life's purpose, and I was too. I was really searching for my passion and searching for, like, my reason, my life's goal, my raison d'etre. And in searching really deep for it, I ended up finding that I'm actually okay. That's one of the concepts that I declared in my minimalism journey, was this idea that I had to find a life's purpose. I don't know, I think that there is more to life than just what you can get for you. You do something and it extends beyond you and it's about somebody else. Isn't that a more noble and a more virtuous way of living? Number 2, community, putting food on others' tables. When I thought about my life's purpose, I think I was thinking of it in the wrong way. I was thinking, like, in terms of how much success could I garner and, like, what could I do for me and how could I, like, better my own life. Instead, I started thinking about, like, the community and thinking about other people. I think a good way to maybe think about it is I started thinking, like, my YouTube channel, could I make videos that help others, not just focusing that lens on myself? What did that really do to help others? It really didn't do anything. I'm not somebody people would aspire to be, so instead I thought, okay, you know what, like, let's make content to help somebody else out. And that has really helped make my YouTube journey a lot more meaningful and bearable. In the beginning, I felt really frustrated with the lack of growth that I had on my channel, but that's just because at the core of it, I was just focused on me and I wasn't offering anything to anybody. So that's one of the reasons why I don't really have a life's purpose. I don't think, you know what, like, I want to do this and I want to do that and, like, I want to live this, like, super, I don't know, luxurious or extraordinary life. I don't have those type of dreams anymore. Instead, I try to humble myself and think it's not about me. Rather, I as a person, what can I do to help others? Number 3, faith in a higher power. This is actually a pretty recent one that I've kind of rekindled my faith with God, or a higher power, as you will, or I guess, like, the universe. Before that, I really did think that power was in my own hands. I thought that if I hustled really hard, I could make everything come true. I could make things happen according to my will. And there comes a point where there's only so much you can do with your own 2 hands, and you start to kind of lose faith and start to lose hope as a general feeling. And that's something that happened to me. And in my minimalism, where I no longer had anything more to, like, cling on to as, like, my drivers or my motivation, you know, I wasn't holding on to ambition, I wasn't holding on to success, I wasn't holding on to material possessions. I felt very, like, lost in the wind. I needed something to ground me. And as funny as it is, I found more stability in having faith in something outside of myself, kind of relinquishing that control, thinking that, like, everything that happens, or I guess being arrogant enough to believe that that is through my own ability. But a lot of things happen and come about outside of our control. I mean, like, yes, there's a lot that we do to contribute to the things that happen to us, and a lot of our successes are built on how much effort we put in. But once I started kind of putting my faith in God and believing, you know what, certain things are outside of my hands and I'm just gonna leave it as that. I started to develop a lot more like centered peace and started to think, you know what, it's beyond me. I don't have control over it. And what does it have to do with my life's purpose? I felt that my life's purpose was whatever I decided for it to be, but I've kind of started to think that maybe my life's purpose isn't something that I think that it should be, but as I live my life, it will reveal itself to me what is. Number 4, what can I do for me became what can I do for others. I kept thinking, what could I do for me? And I just don't feel like that's how I want to live my life. So I guess in some ways, if you think like, oh, is your life purpose to help others? I wouldn't go as far as that, because that's also kind of arrogant. I don't know if I'm helping others, but I think a simpler way to think about it is I just now try to live my life on the day-to-day in a way that is what a lot of the Greek philosophers would say is like a virtuous way of living. So in terms of being the best individual that I can be on the daily, and not placing my value on external things that could like disappear. Even some of the more hardcore stuff that's really important to us, like our identity, our connection with family and friends, our success. These things, as beautiful as they are not necessarily permanent, and for us to place our value on those things or our happiness on those things, that's an external thing. So I try to be a good person, and I think that that is my baseline for my life purpose, to just be a good person. I don't need to accomplish anything to feel like I'm a worthwhile individual. I think that if I act in a virtuous way where I don't harm others to the best of my ability, where I'm good to myself and I'm good to others, I think that there is meaning in that, and I don't need to extend it beyond that to this glorified idea that I need to find my life's purpose. That's a lot of pressure, and I didn't want to keep living like that, so I just decluttered that notion, and I'm just like, nope, I'm cool, I don't need it. Number 5, it doesn't matter how you serve others, it's as long as you want to serve others. This one was a really hard one for me to kind of comprehend, because growing up for a really long time, I always just put me first. The idea that I was going to put others before me was just like, seemed like a really stupid idea. I was like, why would I do that? Like, why would I want to help or serve others? But that was kind of a really freeing notion. It brought me a lot of happiness to shift my attention away from like, what's my life purpose and how am I gonna like up my life and how am I gonna just me. And it's kind of akin to the Zen principle that somebody who focuses on themselves, we focus on the things that are painful. Just like if your arm hurts, your attention will be all on your arm. But if your body feels no pain, you're not aware of it. So it's kind of the same principle. If you're constantly focusing on you, that's because you at the core still have a lot of work left to do. But it isn't until you can shift your attention away from yourself and onto others, it's when you start to realize that there's actually nothing wrong with you and there's nothing that you need to fix. And it goes the other way around. When you have nothing to fix, it gives you the ability to go out and help others because everything with you is okay. When I wasn't focused in feeling like, you know what, like I need to find my life's purpose, like I'm fine if I do or don't accomplish a life's purpose, I felt like I had a lot more free time to interact and serve others. And I started to do things like, okay, how can I help others? How can I spend time with others? How can I interact with my community, with whatever that may be? Because I don't have to be wasting my time pursuing some notion of my life's purpose. And number 6, nothing was enough. One of the interesting concepts about when I kept chasing my life's purpose, I went through different phases of what I thought was my life's purpose. There was a period of time where I was like working out and I was like super into fitness and eating, and I was like, that's my life purpose. I gotta help everybody with like tips about how to eat. And then I went through a period of time where I was like, you know what, like I need to make this minimalism channel to help spread the news of minimalism and how awesome it's been and this and that and blah blah blah. And it just felt like nothing was ever enough. Like I would go from one thing to another thing, and it was just trying to find my life's purpose. Once I let go of that notion, I was like, I don't want to have a life's purpose. I just want to live my life. The things that I did have in my life started to kind of have more meaning. When I was constantly chasing a purpose, you know, like a higher goal, I just never felt like anything was enough. Like I just wanted more, and I wanted this and I wanted that, and it was just kind of like an insatiable hunger. And it was just like, and the comparisons were endless. I would compare my journey to other people's journey, like what have they accomplished? Should that be my life's purpose? Should his or her life's purpose be mine? And I even started to feel kind of empty, thinking that I haven't found my life's purpose. Like, what's wrong with me? Is like my life not meaningful because I don't have a life's purpose? Once I decided to like let it go and just be like, you know what, like what I have is enough, what I've accomplished is enough. Like I feel really happy and I feel really good and the grind's been good. I'm not trying to say I'm being complacent, but I definitely felt like I just didn't want to be in a place anymore where I felt like things weren't enough, where everything that I did was not enough because it still didn't feel like a life's purpose. And I don't know, I guess maybe I'm just one of those people who's never going to have that feeling of this is my life's purpose. Instead, I just decided, you know what, if I can help others, putting myself out there as opposed to just me, then I think that's a good life. That's a good life. And if in the end I didn't accomplish anything for myself, that's cool too, because you know what, I don't need that external validation to feel good with myself. Okay, so that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.